Hey guys, it's Clarence here again from Asian Tech Guy. So I got inspired a while ago when I watched Beatwit actually do this experiment where he tried premium fans on budget AIOs. So I have here for myself a Snowman 6 Heatpipe cooler. This is actually for the AM4 platform, which works perfectly fine because I'm going to use this on my 5600X. These stock fans, aren't too great. They'll do the job, but I really wonder what happens if I swap this out for something a bit more premium. Of course, I'm not going to go balls to the walls premium like Noctua, but I have this guy lying around. It's the Arctic P12 PWM fan. It goes for about 20 bucks, thereabouts. I can get it cheaper if you get it during like a promotion or something like that. So we're gonna be swapping the fans to this guy and compare the stock to upgraded fan performance. I don't think we'll see any difference in performance, especially in games. So we'll probably skip that and we'll look mainly at the max and average temps and maybe check out the clock speeds, like what we can attain probably in benchmarks. By the way, the Snowman is tried and tested, so I know the performance is going to be very good there. Just want to see how much further we can push this with a simple, cheap fan upgrade. Well, of course, we got to make sure that we tear this guy off. Otherwise, thermal conductivity is definitely going to be affected. I know this is kind of tattered. I'm going to be using this innovative cooling thermal graphite pad to keep the test consistent. It's a bit torn and tattered, well, more than that, but it'll work in a pinch, that's for sure. Still covers most of the CPU chip itself. I always think this is a bit of a pain to install. Got the hook on one side first. Alright, it's in. And push the other side down. It's hard to get a good camera angle here as well. Alright, satisfying click. Of course, we've got to plug in the fan into the CPU fan header. Damn it, the AIO I usually use for my test bench is a bit in the way, but I've squeezed it in there somehow. Yeah. That's what she said. So this test rig is running a 5600X on the X570 platform. As for the GPU, doesn't really matter. This is some good old GPU I use for testing purposes, but we just need display output from this guy. So this thing is out of battery and I don't have a replacement, so I can't tell the exact temperature, ambient temp if you will. That being said, it's fine. I'm just gonna be using AC at a strict 22 degrees Celsius throughout all this test, just to keep the environment temperature, the ambient temp at a constant, at least within a ballpark, right? So the first benchmark that we're gonna use is Cinebench R33. I really like this benchmark and I've used it for quite a number of videos already up to date. So the run is almost finished. We're gonna catch it while it's hot. Right. So for average temps, we're seeing it at 68.9 degrees Celsius. For max temp attained on the CPU at 71.4 degrees Celsius. As for maximum clock speed, about 4.64 GHz. And we managed to attain a score of 11,012. The next program we're going to be using is OCTT. I've used this before. It's fairly consistent as well. So that's what we're going to be gunning for. We're just going for the CPU test at default settings. So this is a fairly long test, but we'll run this for about 10 minutes, about the same as Cinebench R33, before we get our statistics. So this is what we managed to obtain. We got an average temp of 65.9 degrees Celsius and a maximum temperature of 71.1 degrees Celsius on the CPU cooler. For the max clock speed, we got a very similar result here, 4.64 GHz. And it's time to swap out for the Arctic P12. Here we go. So swapping the fans isn't too hard. Just gonna take out this metal retention brackets. Pop that out like so. Yeah, it's a bit tight. That's what she said. Ah, God damn it. I'll probably take the RAM modules out to give myself better clearance. It'll be way easier if we pop the whole CPU cooler out and change it, but I'm too lazy for that. Alright. Just put this bad boy back on. Put the retention clip on both sides. Let's clip one side first. Boom, and we're done. Just go plug the fan into the CPU cooler. Damn it, it actually looks sweeter with these fans on as compared to the stock Snowmans. So idle CPU temp actually seen a very small improvement right here at 31.3 degrees Celsius. Of course, that's just a very slight improvement in the idle temp department. Proof is in the pudding of what kind of improvements we're gonna see in terms of thermals and performance in the benchmarks. Right, just let me drop the numbers on screen. So for average temps, we've just seen a slight drop to 67.9 degrees Celsius from 68.9 degrees. For max temps, we got it down to 69.4 degrees Celsius, coming from 71.4, so that's about 2 degrees drop. And for the max clock speed, it stayed virtually identical at 4.64 GHz. We just got a slight bump in the score department, but I think it's within a margin of error. We scored this time 11,312 compared to 11,012 in the stock configuration. Now let's move on to the OCCT benchmark numbers. We improved a little bit to 61.5 degrees Celsius. However, for max temps, that got a little bit weird. We got a bit hotter there at 72 degrees Celsius. And as for the max clock speed, it stayed virtually identical at 4.64 GHz. Oh yeah, before I forget, guys, if you want to help me grow this channel, just like and subscribe if you haven't, and feel free to leave a comment down below. It's time to put my thoughts on this. What I've done today to upgrade the fans of the stock Snowman 6 Heatpipe cooler. Basically, you get only improvement about 1 to 2 degrees Celsius. And in some fringe scenarios, especially for the average, you get an improvement at about 4 degrees Celsius. But in terms of the clock speeds, you don't actually get any gain there. So would I recommend this? Say hell no. It's just not worth it. If you want to improve things, you can get a Nocta fan and step it on and improve things further. But if you would do that, you would be better off like upgrading to a better CPU cooler or AIO for that matter. This is just an experiment I wanted to do and share the findings with you guys. If you guys want to see anything, hit me up, let me know. Until the next time, this is Clarence from the Asian Tech Guy. Check it out.